Facebook at Globetvgh. You can join us with your thoughts and comment. This morning we begin from the President, because President John Dramani Mahama plans to reinstate Republic Day as a national holiday and introduce an additional public holiday for Eid al-Fitr. During his thank-you-giving tour in the Western region on Wednesday, President Mahama revealed plans to amend the Public Holiday Act to reinstate July 1st, recognizing Ghana's transition for self-governance under the East Constitution, and proposed an official holiday for Eid al-Fitr.
And as a servant who is ready to work tirelessly to ensure that the Western region and Ghana as a whole move forward into a future of prosperity, dignity, and progress. We will have the opportunity as a nation soon to pray and give thanks to the Almighty God, as enjoined by the Holy Book that says that in all things give thanks. We will thank God for his beautiful blessings on our nation Ghana, and I'll soon announce a planning committee made up of religious leaders to plan the National Day of Prayer and Thanksgiving. I propose that this National Day of Prayer and Thanksgiving should be held on 1st July, which is also our Republic Day and also marks Senior Citizens Day. Nananum, my brothers and sisters, we will soon present to Parliament amendments to the Public Holidays Act in order that we can restore July 1st as a holiday. In the amendment of the Public Holidays Act, we shall also make provision to fulfill our promise to the Muslim community of an extra holiday to mark the Muslim festival of Eid al-Fitr.
Let's do some illegal mining activities, because President John Dramani Mahama has unveiled comprehensive plans to tackle the menace of illegal mining, also known as galamsey, which will include community chiefs and youths and not just security agencies. Now, as part of this effort, Mahama pledged to take immediate action to halt mining activities in forest reserves and reverse preserving these vital ecosystems for future generations, and express relief that the recent cholera outbreak is subsiding, but caution citizens to remain vigilant and take proactive measures to ensure their drinking water sources are safe and secure.
My brothers and sisters, the whole country is appalled at the extensive environmental degradation that has been caused by illegal small-scale mining, popularly known as galamsey. Your own son, Ama Kofi-Boa, is formulating strategies for the implementation of our manifesto promise for dealing with this galamsey menace. Our plan will involve the communities, including the chiefs and the youth, to take part in protecting their lands and forests and water bodies. We're not going to make it the responsibility of only the security agencies. We're going to involve the chiefs and the young people in the communities to help to protect your own lands, your forests, and your water bodies. We'll take urgent steps to halt mining activities in our forest reserves and on our rivers. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm grateful to note that the recent cholera outbreak is abating, but I urge you, our fellow citizens, to continue to take protective action by making sure that your sources of drinking water are safe and that you take the necessary steps to avoid being attacked by cholera.
Let me take you to the Parliament now, because the Member of Parliament for Damango, Samuel Abdullahi Jinapo, has denied allegations that he verbally attacked the MP for Globetvgh, Dr. Zenato Ajima-Rawlings, during a heated parliamentary session on Tuesday. The controversy began when a male voice shouted, "Daughter of a murderer, sit down," while Dr. Ajima-Rawlings attempted to speak. Social media reports initially accused Jinapo of making the remark, but he has since denied the allegations, calling them baseless and untrue.
Anybody who has followed my career and followed my involvement in Ghanaian public life will in all modesty attest to the fact that I don't speak in that nature. I don't speak in that manner. The words which are being falsely attributed to me are not words that I will ever use. That's not the way I speak. Secondly, I didn't even know that such words had been uttered. I found that this morning when this trending video was brought to my attention. And what I can say to that is that it's totally false. It cannot be correct. I mean, anybody who's followed my life and career will come to the conclusion that Abu Jinapa will not speak that way. I don't even speak across the aisle when I'm in Parliament. If I have anything to say, I make the effort to catch the speaker's attention, and I say it publicly. So it is totally, totally false. I have huge respect for President Rawlings. Anybody who knows me very well knows that when he was alive, he took a lot of interest in me, and I visited him multiple times. Indeed, when he passed, on this floor in Parliament, the person who read a tribute in honor of the memory of former President Jerry John Rawlings was the Honorable Haruna Idrisu, the then minority leader. I was then a first timer. Indeed, that was the first time I spoke on this floor. I was the one who seconded the minority leader and supported and contributed and elogized President Rawlings on the floor of Parliament. Hansard will bear me out. When his children set up this foundation for tree planting, I was a guest of honor, and it's on record what I said about former President Rawlings. Indeed, I had a very personal relationship with him. I have a lot of respect for him, and I have a lot of respect for his family, particularly his daughter, the Honorable Member of Parliament, Dr. Senator Rawlings, and I will utter such.
To the Eastern region, the regional minister, Rita Kosua-Adjei has stressed the importance of collaboration and unity in achieving comprehensive development agenda for the region. During her first meeting with staff at the Regional Coordinating Council, stressed the need to focus on pressing issues like youth unemployment and education, among others.
The Eastern Regional Minister, Rita Kosua-Adjei, has unveiled a comprehensive development agenda for the region, focusing on pressing issues like youth unemployment, education, health, responsible mining and infrastructure. This ambitious plan aims to address the challenges facing the region and unlock its full potential. During her first meeting with staff at the Regional Coordinating Council, Minister Awate stressed the importance of collaboration and unity in achieving these goals.
Family members in the Eastern region, we will have to do a lot more on the roads. We look forward to a regime with expanded access to our farming communities so that foodstuffs can move easily to our market centers. We will have to make sure our people mine responsibly, such that our forests, our lands, our water bodies are protected.
She expressed her commitment to working closely with all stakeholders to address the region's challenges and emphasized that every staff member must put aside political differences and work together towards building a better future for the people of the region.
Let's be honest in our dealing with our colleagues to ensure fairness and a happy working environment. I am not here as a jack of all trades, and so no staff should attempt being one. Let's all allow each other and everyone to play her role, her mandated role, so as to curb bitterness. The campaign periods are over, and there is a need to bring everyone on board for the betterment of the Eastern region. I entreat all staff to put politics aside and be guided by the.
To the Bono region, the headmaster of Insoko Senior High School, Alhaji Ibrahim Mohammed, has sounded the alarm over the school's precarious security situation, appealing for urgent assistance to construct a fence wall and install CCTV cameras.
The school, with a population of over 3,000 students, has been plagued by theft, with intruders easily accessing the premises due to lack of a perimeter fence. CCTV cameras have proven to be effective in enhancing school security as they can detect unfolding incidents, deter bad behavior, and capture evidentiary footage. Speaking to Alhaji Muhammad, the headmaster of the school, he emphasized the need for immediate action to safeguard the students and their properties.
We don't have walls surrounding the school. And I have drink a crack. If you say school nankasa within the town, is being surrounded by suburbs. Mun nkwalane bi etumi wura school mu ha. Ebi tumi be wiade, ebi tumi be ye nema bi a emfata. Esan say ye ni wall surrounding the school. Or wall now, somebody cannot just come through any place into the school. I want for the main gate.
The headmaster is appealing to government, non-governmental organizations, and the All Students Association to support the school in addressing this critical security concern.
We need to have a CCTV camera that will capture those that will enter into the vicinity. This is CCTV camera no definitely obi a obe wuram bia no ye hunu kura na the CCTV camera can capture him. So ni amesre na all students, benevolent society, na any individual be our non-sufficient.
Let's do some crime-related stories because the Ghana Police Service has arrested 2 additional suspects concerning the violent clash that erupted during the football match between Swaziland FC and Kasante Kotoko. The suspects, identified as Isaac Ofosu and Yebo Augustine, are currently in police custody assisting with ongoing investigations. The arrest brings the total number of suspects detained in connection with the incident to 5. Authorities have assured the public that intelligence-led operations are still underway to apprehend all individuals responsible for violence and ensure they face justice. The incident, which occurred on February 2nd, resulted in the tragic death of Asante Kotoko supporter. The club confirmed the passing of the fan following violent confrontations after the Ghana Premier League Match 19 encounter against Swaziland FC at the Nana Kramansa Park. You are still watching the Wake Up News on Globetvgh. I am Bright AWUSI. Coming up on the program, commercial drivers in Techiman are sounding the alarm over the recent fuel price hikes. Details arrive shortly. Don't go anywhere. You're welcome back to the program. In the Bono region, in the Bono East region, I beg your pardon, where commercial drivers in Techiman, that is the regional capital, are sounding the alarm over the recent fuel price hikes. Our reporter Idris Hamzata has more in this report.
As of February 2025, the Chamber of Petroleum Consumers (COPEC) projects a slight increase in diesel and liquefied petroleum gas prices, while petrol prices were expected to decrease marginally. COPEC attributed the adjustment to the recent fluctuations in global crude oil prices and the depreciation of the Ghana cedis against the US dollar. This increase is the third consecutive time this year, with some oil marketing companies adjusting prices upward in the first pricing window of February. Based on the market trend, petrol prices at some pumps have increased from 14.69 Ghana cedis to 15.15 Ghana cedis per litre Diesel has also risen from 14.85 Ghana cedis to 15.15 Ghana cedis per litre. Following this, some commercial drivers in Techiman in the Bono East region have raised concerns over the broader economic impact of the adjustment.
You too full more. Six no my cowness no. Omun and probably omu tumunu. Now my yenso no adra for near bre. Esan say what is a ya tupetum e ya den ya betu lol fam nti bra mreko na no expect ya betu lol fam no na ye nyantu onu nso increase ni de nti e basa na ya bre e say wo komienu e dey a wuntumi nkomienu no because cars ne go so e dey wakwa e bia baako as a station car wakwa baako basa zo a wan kasa wo ye driver na wo so dey passengers for no kono kunya hwe ado de na say wo ye adwuma de e ma kawura we say Friwanchi Ebotechima ha Mutufu be 110 be 105 in and out on 200 we buy me didi me table fee me check cancel ticket police for agent across me tia and me first me ko akopin we no am sika be make it me be 75 cedis.
They have also expressed their hopes that the new government will take swift action to alleviate the fuel price crisis.
Yes, Rabbi say, Adawma, I think our body by an intuitua or yeno, or Henon on Kai Abrafo, said Baya, yes, soon you bit me there, a team point there, a queen. My own children, or movie, we want children to abandon way, a crack.
The Chamber of Petroleum Consumers, COPEC, has echoed similar concerns regarding the far-reaching implications of escalating fuel prices on the cost of living and economic stability, and is urging the government to take prompt and decisive action to mitigate the situation. Until the government intervenes, consumers and businesses reliant on fuel will continue to bear the brunt of relentless price increases, exacerbating the already uncertain economic conditions. For Globe News, Idris Hamzata.
And that was my colleague Idris Hamzata giving out this special report from the Bono East Regional Capital. Away from that, the Tema Regional Command of the Ghana National Fire Service has reported a staggering 616 fire incidents in 2024, representing a 15% increase from the previous year's 533 fires. This surge has prompted the surveys to reassess its fire prevention strategy, aiming to enhance safety measures in the region.
The devastating impact of these fires is evident, with lives lost and valuable properties destroyed. The Ghana National Fire Service has identified the proliferation of slums, largely driven by rural-urban migration, as a significant contributor to the rising fire incidents. Areas such as Aigbe Town, Community 5000, and Tiobodom have been particularly affected. According to the Tema Regional Public Relations Officer, DO3 Ebenezer Yenzu, the fire service is concerned about the situation, but acknowledges demolition exercises by MMDAs.
Eja ye recordo ewo temahase no isutu apkakra obehwe percentage rise near about 15.57% increment in the number of fires ye recordo. Na ne titu no so eye fi bebi ha eye amanfo eda eye be domestic settings and as a domestic premises no. Inti no se ifi ho a eden na ema account for sa ejahihye no bebre no na obehwe so a temahase no akoye bebi a akoye an urban area inti no bebre na etu bata efi won efie anase eye won ekro ne won amanso ebepie eye krokese mu hase se ompese omudi omudwuma nti ombo nso omoba asase a eda ho a obi ente so anase obi nye ne structure bi wo so no na omode ntabo ne niema esisi so yen as fire service de ye ni hutumi se ye bekwa akoka se sa nipa we esese otena hase yan na se nyese otena hase na mum nia ebetimi aye ne se ye bekọ ho ne de afutu etimi ede amam mu nyina mo nitua senia na adwumadie no ye koye no bia ye wura ye senia ho esifa etie efa na ne ebetimi aya ne se ye de ncheche ebetimi amomu na mbo no ya kire mo se mamonye sei.
According to DO3 Ebenezer Yenzu, the fire service in the interim will continue to educate residents on fire safety and prevention, emphasizing the importance of vigilance to avoid losing belongings in the event of a fire.
From the 24th ABC 31st of December last year, 7-8 days no nkoa no yenya just 26 awotema region nkoa. The entire year no was 616 fires and the year recorded as against 533 2023 emu, which is representing that 15.57% increment no. But ni nyina mu no senior medical care no the domestic settings no na den edoso pa wo na afi ebiem so no bibia yesan so enya no dodo kase ne bia yetonton ne ma na se the commercial premises a yedi edwuma wo ho no eno so na bibia yesan record bibia nipa activities edoso ho bia no yehu se eja hyehye na den ema no so this should tell us say eba ne se ewo se yetimi den ye bre eja no ase a ne nyina eja nipa ye na namuntu anase yen asede a ewo se ye no se betimi etu ya namo ye na ya bre eja no se.
The newly appointed Minister for Gender, Children and Social Protection, Dr. Agnes Momolati, has urged her team to work together to achieve the government objectives, particularly in improving the livelihood of Ghanaians. On her first day in office, the minister emphasized the importance of collaboration and cooperation in driving progress and achieving the government goals.
This position, and by the grace of God, I am coming to work with you as part of your team. You could say the lead of the team. I am coming with varied backgrounds, and I believe that once the organization has been performing well up to this time, there's something that is holding the organization together, which is my area of curiosity, and I wish to identify what it is that is working the magic for the organization or for the ministry, so that together we can chart great and greater paths based on your experiences and mine as well. I'm a development practitioner by profession and a politician. That I can't hide. Is the obvious one. I've been given a mandate by His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, the President of the Republic of Ghana, to serve the people of Ghana with you as team members. And I see this as a very significant ministry, a key one. All other sectors are key, but I see this sector and this ministry as very key, and I am honored to be given the opportunity to contribute my quota to the development of this sector. It is key because we are basically the voice and the conscience of society. When you look at the services and the mandate of the ministry, which you know best, I have read and contributed from the CSO's perspective and maybe a legislator's perspective. But you have worked as core team members of the ministry. We'll have that in mind as we all work towards what the president wants to achieve. He signed a social contract with the people of Ghana, and I have no intention of being the one to let him down, and I don't expect that.
If you just joined the program, this is Wake Up News on Globetvgh. I am Bright AWUSI. Coming up on the international front, Trump order says to ban transgender women and girls from female sports. Details wrap shortly. Don't go anywhere. Now, U.S. President Donald Trump signed an executive order to exclude transgender girls and women from female sports, a directive that supporters say will restore fairness, but critics say infringes on the right of a tiny minority of athletes.
From now on, women's sports will be only for women.
President Donald Trump on Wednesday signed an executive order to exclude transgender girls and women from participating in female school sports under his interpretation of Title IX. Reuters correspondent Dan Trotta explains.
Title IX is a law that prevents discrimination on the basis of sex in education. The Trump administration intends to use Title IX as a means to protect women in sports, that is, non-transgender women in sports, to protect them from having to compete against transgender athletes. That's where there could be a true change in policy if it holds up in court.
With my action this afternoon, we're putting every school receiving taxpayer dollars on notice that if you let men take over women's sports teams or invade your locker rooms, you will be investigated for violations of Title IX and risk your federal funding. There will be no federal funding.
Critics say Trump's directive stomps on the rights of a small minority of athletes, but Republicans say the directive restores fairness in sports and protects girls in schools.
So it's something of an open question, but the real issue, as the president of the NCAA said, is that there are less than 10 transgender athletes among the 500,000 participating in collegiate sports. At the high school level, it's impossible to say exactly, but the best estimates are that there are a couple of dozen.
The war on women's sports is over.
Trump's order also instructs the State Department to demand changes within the International Olympic Committee to prevent transgender athletes from competing.
Trump cannot dictate to the International Olympic Committee what its rules ought to be, and this is a matter that has undergone some serious review multiple times by the Olympic Committee.
The Trump administration has taken aim broadly at transgender rights since taking office on January 20th. While Trump supporters have hailed the president for making good on campaign promises, critics say Trump has overstepped his executive authority.
For more local and international stories, you can always count on our website at Globetvgonline.com. Coming up in sports, Women's FA Cup quarterfinals kick off. 8 teams battle for semi-final spots. Details wrap shortly. Do stay with us. The minority, the minority. In sports this morning, the Women's FA Cup quarterfinal is just around the corner, scheduled for February 14th to 17th, 2025. 8 teams will battle it out for export in the semi-final, and there are some exciting matchups to look out forward to. One of the most anticipated clashes is between the Northern Ladies and Faith Ladies, a cross-regional encounter that promises to be a thrilling contest. Hazaka's Ladies will host Fusu Royals at Kobe's AstroTurf in what is expected to be a tightly contested match. Another intriguing fixture is the matchup between Division 1 League side Roots Sisters and former champions Ampimdakwan Ladies. Roots Sisters will face a tough challenge, but they have shown resilience and determination to reach this stage. Meanwhile, Jonina Ladies will travel to Sunshine Ladies with both teams ready to secure spots in the semi-final. On international stories, Gonzalo Garcia scored extra time as Real Madrid avoided an upset by defeating Leganés 3-2 to reach the semi-finals of the Copa del Rey on Wednesday. Madrid has taken a 2-goal lead at a halftime with Luka Modric and Endrick before the hosts rallied to even the match in the second half. From the Real Madrid, the Newcastle reached the Carabao Cup final for the second time in 3 seasons after a 2-0 semi-final second leg win over Arsenal contributed to a 4-0 aggregate victory.
For Newcastle, and it's one that's been taken. A nightmarish start for the Gunners.
After review, the goal scorer, Newcastle number 14, is in an offside position. The restart is indirect free kick for offside.
Trossard flicked on. Antonelli went to ground. Odegaard! A big chance for the Gunners. The clearest opportunity yet. Smashed off target by their skipper. And it's Alexander Isak, the frame of the goal, Murphy on the follow-up. And Newcastle, for their second time this evening, have the ball in the back of the net. And this one may well just stand. Not clear his lines. Havertz, infield, Trossard, brilliant save to Dubravka. Threw his body down to the ground to get a vital glove on it. And deny Arsenal again. Rice put under pressure. And this time Anthony Gordon does make it count. Just as he did in the first leg at Emirates Stadium. He struck 5 minutes after the restart. Scoring Newcastle's second of the night and surely taking this game.
If to catch Vincent Fogo and the rest of the sports crew at 9 a.m. with Sports Arena and 4 p.m. with Sports Premier later in the day. Let's take a recap of our top stories. President John Dramani Mahama plans to reinstate Republic Day as a national holiday and introduce an additional public holiday for Eid al-Fitr. Meanwhile, commercial drivers in Techiman are sounding the alarm over the recent hikes in fuel prices. And on the international front, Trump's order says to ban transgender women and girls from female sports. You also heard in sports where Women's FA Cup quarterfinals kick off with 8 teams battle for semi-final spots. And that will be for the bulletin on behalf of the entire production team led by Alexander Ohineja and directed by Bella Tete. Many thanks for watching. I am Brighter. We have a good morning and enjoy the rest of our program. See you